So we are once again in an Ozark wilderness, gonna do a backpack. We've been doing a lot of this year. So I'm setting up my brand new Eno Rainfly. I got the Dragonfly, so I don't like being wet. And Bell Mountain scared me into buying this. So here we are, I got a Rainfly. I'm so excited for this. And no, it's not just my aversion to rain.
Oh, there's a walnut tree.
This ground's too soft for that. You know you have to go back to it?
Yep.
Welcome to the Mark Twain National Forest, where people start chainsaws at 8 o'clock in the morning in the campground. It is March 31st. We are in the Mark Twain National Forest at the McGar Ridge Trailhead in the Devil's Backbone Wilderness area. Holy mosquitoes. They're everywhere. This trail's roughly 10 miles for us. It's gonna follow a ridge down to the river, and then it's going to mostly just be heading back out.
This is what our map looks like. So today we're gonna take off from up here, and we're gonna cut down. There's a little spring down in here, and then we're gonna cut up and get all this mileage, come up on top of the bluff, and hopefully there's a nice bluff here overlooking the river that we can have as a campsite tonight. But you have your puffy.
I will have my puffy.
I'm gonna take my coat.
Yeah, use one of those stuff sacks you got. If we filter enough water. I only had one bottle of water, and it was just in my bag. There's this, but that's non-potable. We've been hitting a lot of the wilderness areas in Missouri, in the Mark Twain National Forest. And what's awesome about the wilderness areas is you can backcountry camp without permits. And these are just free spaces. There's about 8 of them. We did the Patty Creek Wilderness several years back. We went to the Bell Mountain Wilderness. This one's the Devil's Backbone. We intended to do the Irish Wilderness down at the 11 Point, but then we didn't. We got Hercules Glades, Mingo Swamp, which is not one that I'm super excited about. And this one's a horse trail, because there's some green horse poop.
Well, we're at the trail junction here. We've got a few signages here. The long loop's off to the left. Our cutoff's gonna be here to the right on the red trail.
So we started the trail at noon, which is really early for the distance we have. Probably only gonna hike about 7 miles today at most. That's gonna give us a ton of time at camp. That's gonna let us go slow, take the place in, get a lot of shots of cool things, and maybe take a lot of breaks. We just have all day to explore in this wilderness, and that's pretty awesome. All right, this is our next trail split. This is where we take off on the connector. It kind of cuts this loop in half. But this goes down to a spring, and we want to go see that. The shortleaf pine is the only pine tree that is native to Missouri, and it is a southern pine tree. Missouri has probably 30% of what it should in terms of like natural population of pine trees, and that's mostly because of recovery efforts in the Mark Twain National Forest. It was mostly logged in the late 1800s, early 1900s, mostly wiped out, and then with them gone, oak trees cause a lot of leaves on the ground, deciduous leaves that make it very hard for pine cones to sprout. It creates a lot of competition, and also oak forest generates a lot of underbrush, which pine trees struggle with. Also, burning helps, but we can only do organized burns in federally held lands. So a lot of Missouri is not federally held or state held conservation land where they can do controlled burns. And so, as you can see in a place like this where there's healthy pine trees, you also see that they're burned on the bottom. We're at a little pond. I don't think this is the spring. This is a man-made little cow pond. This rock has such incredible colors in it. We reached the bottom here, and it's gotten a lot thicker by this ravine where we're at now. So we're kind of crawling through weeds.
Well, we're down in this creek bed, and it is all flooded out real bad. It's hard to tell where the trail goes. I think I see it across the way, but this was really, really damaged down here.
I swear that that direction is downhill. Like, that has to be uphill from that direction. However, all of the weeds are pointing that way. This very much runs that direction. But that's uphill. How? The only way this water could have gone uphill right here is if it came down the hill with momentum. I don't get this. Okay, I have this theory. All these trees leaning this direction maybe creates an optical illusion. Because if I'm not looking at them, it's pretty flat here. We got a waterfall. Do you think it's a spring too? It's coming down the hill. Heck yeah. It's like dripping down, but it's dripping from everywhere.
Can you see the pond?
Not yet. I'm getting there. This is a cool cave. That's a lot of water. I bet this is a spring up there.
Feels like it. So we've been in this alcove for a little minute. We're pretty sure that there's a spring up above it that's dripping down in through here, because the creek's dry either way from this spot. So we think it's a spring, but we're about to head back over to the trail. But we're right at the joint.
Okay, we need to go back the other way. Okay, we missed our trail, kind of. We detoured. When we got back on the trail, we went the wrong way for not that far, maybe like 1/10 of a mile, yeah, if that, not much. But we found our trail split. It's poorly marked. And we gained a significant amount of elevation out of that creek bed. We're now back up on the ridge top, and a lot of this trail rides the ridges. I think we'll stay up here until we go back down for the river at the North Fork. We're on a narrow high point here. It's kind of a neck between two of the hills, and we're right on the ridge. It just drops off on either side here, and it's pretty cool. We got a little bit of a view, but can't see through the trees very well. We're only 2.5 miles in, but this ridge is really awesome here. It drops off on both sides, and the ridge top here would be a perfect place to camp, but we're just too early in on the trail. We've got to go on past this. Hopefully there's another spot on the other side of this dip where we get back up into high elevation like this, because I love this kind of site. Cool little water pond.
So we're at a trail split here. Back behind us here is a spur that goes out towards the highway. And then back behind me is going to be the trail that we take back towards the spring and the ridge.
This is the cut right on the boundary. And I can see between the trees to our left, I can see through. There's a field over there. Private land. But this is sloggy and thick. He's just a big old 7-foot black snake. Hey, rat boy. Nah, he's like 5 foot.
Yeah.
That's a pretty one. He's got patterns in him. I'm not gonna get any closer.
I can get closer.
He might bite the GoPro.
Will it hurt it?
Eh. That's a good snake. Oh, he's on the move.
That's cool.
They are beautiful the way they move. Look at him go along that stick.
That's crazy.
Blackberries aren't quite ready. I was gonna say, that breakfast we had at that diner, that got me carved up for the day. That was awesome. I had biscuits and gravy, ham, eggs, hash browns, and of course, the coffee.
This is one of my favorite of the wildernesses. There's been pines all throughout it. It's beautiful.
We're somewhere around the 5-mile mark. We are at this point going to start looking for any kind of elite campsite that we come across. Any campsite that looks great, we're gonna just set up, and then we can walk down to the river and back at this point because we're like less than a mile from the river. And if we don't find one, we'll go ahead and cross and find another.
We're descending now, down towards the river.
We're here at this little stream. This stream crossing is just right before we get to the spur off to the river. The river's not along this trail. The river is on its own spur. So we're gonna have to get up the hill here a little bit, and then we take a 0.1 mile jaunt down off trail, and then we'll come back. This is thick down here. Okay, this is the worst part of the trail we've had to do. This is thick, overgrown. Hickory trees are taking over the trail. Other nonsense. Made it to the river. We've got this awesome bluff, some pretty water. I'm thinking about taking a dip. Right. Oh, that is the softest mud.
Yeah, see, I don't want that either.
Woo. Woo.
It's really cold. All right, let's get up.
Well, I'm sad to say, but we're leaving this river now. We'll see it again tomorrow. But for the day, we're gonna head up to the ridgetop and make camp. It's in your shoes, your hair, and your mustache, and your mouth. Anakin wasn't wrong. I hate sand. Ooh, but it's not the worst thing.
This tree here is a maple tree, and it is growing out of a dead tree on the ground.
Okay, we are fast approaching the trail spur to the Blue Spring where it goes down into the recreation area. And we were hoping to find a spot between the river and there. And this ridgetop is so thick. There are no pines up here. It's all oaky and the underbrush is out of control. We're kind of unsure about where we're gonna stay if we can't find a clean patch. It's just so thick. We're taking the spur trail down to Blue Spring. Sorry, I'm going through poison ivy here. I gotta watch what I'm doing. So we decided to take the spur trail down to Blue Spring, see if it's maybe less thick through here. But it's so thick. Like, look at these little trees. Like, these make it impossible. We gave up on the trail spur. We don't want to go all the way down to Blue Spring because that's our plan for tomorrow. And so we're actually back up on the main trail, passing the trailhead for the Blue Spring. But we've got to find somewhere that's not overgrown. So we actually found a spot on the ridge here. It's one that we passed earlier coming in. So we went past it thinking, well, this is a place we could come back to. And we got to the trail split where it goes down to the spring and the river at the recreation area. And we went like maybe a quarter of the way in and realized this isn't getting better and nothing is flat. So we came back and went past as if we were headed back to the car. And that wasn't the way to do it either. So instead of finishing the trail, we came back to the first spot, which was double backtracking. It's not going to be a big deal. Tomorrow we'll wake up, go ahead, go down, hit the spring, and then the rest of it's not too long. But this is a flat area. It's pretty well cleaned out. There's wood, there's trees to stay on, and rocks, so this will be all right. We'll make camp here. Well, it's a lot of hard work, but we're here.
We are somewhere.
We got a campsite. It's not too terrible. Hey, my phone turned on. I have 2 bars of 5G.
Where's that speaker at?
Hell yeah, boys. Try not to look like you hate life a little bit.
You told me to be authentic.
One thing I love is packing a candy bar. You need a lot of calories on a backpack, so I can justify eating a whole bunch of candy. All right, we're having our dinner. We are giving Peak a try. We haven't done a whole lot of these. John's done one breakfast with Peak.
Yeah, a breakfast.
This is my first Peak meal, so we're giving them a try tonight. We waited a little bit to have our dinner.
So I've got a backcountry bison bowl. Rice, creamy sauce, biscuits in it, beans, and it's actually pretty good. The biscuits need to be broken up though.
Copyright. So I'm gonna have the 3-bean chili mac. As you can hear, my nose is really stuffing up, and I don't know why. It might be the smoke, but it's kind of mild. But it's good. It's chili as in chili spice, not chili like beans and hamburger. So. All right, it's morning. It rained a little bit last night. Our tarps, rain flies, worked out good. Really the only thing we have to do today is get down to the Blue Spring and then back up and finish the rest of the loop. So it's gonna be a pretty short finish for the day. It's sunny this morning. It's nice, it's warm. Feels good. All right, we're back on the trail this morning. We're headed down to Blue Spring. We have a huge descent down to the river from this ridgetop, and then we have to come right back out. And once we're back up, it's a short jaunt out to the car, so we don't have much here to do today. I don't know what you are, but you're really cool. We're at the trail split for the Blue Spring. You can't see much. You can see the water.
I don't think it's deep enough.
Oh, it's definitely not deep enough. We can hear floaters on the river, partying it up, having a good time, making splashes.
That's pretty cool.
Tell me when you're about to go.
Okay, let's go! Yes, sir! Hey! All right, Katie.
It's just like 4 pounds. I'm using my tripod as a selfie stick here, but I've got it. Ha! I've never been able to do this. The locals say there's not usually any waterfall action, but since we've gotten so much rain, it's actually coming down on 2 sides. The water's not as clear. It's more murky because of all the rain, but I'll take that trade. The waterfalls are beautiful. So we have 2 Blue Springs in Missouri. We've been to the other one. It's a little more popular, more famous. Well, at this point, we're gonna head up the trail and make our way back to the car. This was the last cool thing we had, but it was cool. Woo! A little bit lighter today. All the food and water consumed. Not all the water, but a lot of it. Whew. All right, I'm ready to go.
Can't see very much, but
Trail turtle. That's our trail split. We're done with the spur down to Blue Spring. We're on to the car. Get a good long shot of this guy.
now we've made it back to the trailhead where the connector and the full trail loop split off, and we're getting close to the trailhead again.
Another one. If you made it to this point of the hike, that means you probably enjoyed it, hopefully. If so, please consider subscribing, liking the video. Helps us out a little bit here on We're in the Pines. Hey John.
Yeah.
What'd the mushrooms say to the flower?
I don't know.
We should hang out sometime. I'm a pretty fun guy.
At least boulders are big and you can jump from one to the next.
I deserve some kind of award. I left the windows open on the Jeep all night. Ain't it rained? But I don't think anybody even stole anything from us.
No.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We're done with the hike now. Our numbers are gonna be a little off. My All Trails is segmented because my phone died and there's a portion of the trail that I didn't capture. So what I did get was 7.27 miles and 1,100 feet of elevation gain, but that is excluding the hike down to Blue Spring and back out. And that back out part had to add to that significantly. So I'm thinking maybe like 1,600 to 1,800 even maybe. That was a good little hike for us, a little challenging at times. The trail was pretty thick. It's June now. It's June now, so we're in summer. The bugs are thick, and yeah, ticks, bugs, hot, muggy. And that's the Ozarks. Oh my God. That's a big one.
We're going down to the river.
Say it again in another way.
Well, we're going down now. We're headed down towards the river.
Say it not sad.
Oh.